Hello everybody, Donkey here, and welcome to another War Thunder video. This time we're looking at the Panzerkampfwagen 5, or otherwise known as the Panther. This was a German medium tank deployed in World War II on the Eastern and Western Front in mid-1943 up until the end of the war. Now, the Panther was sort of intended to counter the Soviet T-34s and replace the Panzer III and IV. Now, the Panther served alongside other tanks such as the Tiger I and Tiger II up until the end of the war. Now, the Panther was slightly better than the current Tiger Is it was fighting alongside. And, you know, this comes down to a number of things. Even though it was undergunned, the Tiger had an 88 and the Panther had a 75. The Panther just had better armor. The engine and transmission could actually run the Panther better than it could with the Tiger. Overall, it was a better tank than the Tiger I. Now, the Panther was sort of rushed into combat. It didn't really go for a lot of testing. It was rushed into the Battle of Kursk, which is probably one of the greatest battles of World War II in my opinion. If you want to learn more about the Panther's history and what goes into the Panther, I suggest you watch The Chieftain's Hatch. They recently did a video on the Panther in the Littlefield collection, so I will link the video in the description, but if you want to learn more, I suggest watching that video. I would also suggest watching Tank Overhaul, and I think it's episode 2. It's a show where they restore tanks, and I think on episode 2 they restored the Panther. Now, you're probably asking yourself, Donkey, what is the Panther like in-game? And I can tell you, it is hard to play the Panther in-game. There are a couple of reasons why. One, it is heavily outgunned against the other tanks that it plays against. This comes down to one, matchmaking being terrible. You get put up against tanks where, you know, they're a higher class than you, and it's like, why am I up against these tanks? And two, it's got a very weak front mantlet on it, and a lot of experienced players aim at that, and it can knock you out pretty much in one. But I'd say the way to play the Panther in game is to sit and wait, and you'll see in this clip, I'm playing realistic here. I just sit on the outskirts of the map and wait for the enemy to come to me. This tank, you could use it as an assault tank, sort of push up and attack the enemy head on. But the problem is, they can flank you so easy, and the side armor on the Panther is terrible. It's really weak. So, as you saw there, I kind of waited for that guy to come into my killing zone. And I think that's the way you play the Panther, really, is you wait for the enemy to come into the killing zone, and you sit there like a sniper almost. I think that's the best way to play the Panther. Despite all of this, I actually had a really fun time playing with the Panther. If you haven't already unlocked it, I suggest maybe working towards it, because it's actually a ton of fun to play with, and it's actually worth getting. I would suggest with this tank, stay away from arcade, because people can easily find out where to hit you and do critical damage. And play realistic. I love this tank in realistic, because if you sit still and sit in a bush, or, you know, sit like a sniper, people just tend to miss you, and you can easily kill them then, like, if they come into your killing zone. Perfectly good tank. I would recommend getting it and unlocking it, and really iconic as well. If you're into that sort of iconic tanks to play with, or, you know, you like the history behind them, I suggest getting the Panther. It's a brilliant tanking game. Again, if you want to learn more about the Panther, watch Inside the Chieftain's Hatch. I will link the video in the description. And also go and watch Tank Overhaul episode 2, where they restore the Panther. Sorry that this is a little bit of a short video, but I like to keep these War Thunder videos sort of short and, like, packed full of information. I don't like waffling on too much. So I'm going to leave you with the rest of this clip now. It's not too long, and I think I get like another kill, but I'll let you watch it. If you enjoyed, please let me know, and like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. Donkey out.